Welcome to another episode of HR Disruptors. My name is Jeff Bounds, and I am with PredictiveHR. Maybe you heard of us, maybe you haven't. For those of you that have not heard about us, you need to know and you need to understand what we're doing in the marketplace because it's something that nobody has ever done. PredictiveHR was founded in 2016 actually as an analytics company and has morphed into the only full suite consulting firm that also leverages something that if you don't have this is what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be really a moot point in regards to what you want to do in creating success. It is having clean data. Now, it's been spun around a million different ways. Maybe you're looking on LinkedIn today, you're watching this. Maybe you've talked to people before that have talked about cleaning your data. There is a big differentiation between cleaning data and doing what we're doing here at PredictiveHR. We have a proprietary data integrity system that leverages AI and leverages a whole bunch of other things that are literally changing the game. And just like anything else, nothing's ever the same. So what we're doing here and what we're going to talk about today is literally going to change the game. So we're going to talk about data integrity. We've talked about HR consulting. If you're not following us, click follow. Make sure you follow us here on LinkedIn. We post every single day, and this is for you guys. It's for you guys to give you as much information as you can to help take your HR to the next level and help you level up. And then not only that, we're doing people analytics. So this all ties in together. I was just talking to somebody yesterday about this, about how consulting, data integrity, and people analytics, it all intertwines. And if you're not doing all of them, you're really going to miss the bar. You're never going to be above average because you need this data to be able to get yourself to the next level. Anyway, enough of that. I'm super excited today to have a colleague on here, Adrienne Okino, somebody that I respect very much. And let me tell you why I respect Adrienne. Because she's done the walk, she can talk the talk, and everything that she's going to talk to you about today, she's lived it. And I know those of you that are watching today, everybody that's in HR, maybe you're not in HR, you just want to understand data integrity. What we're going to talk about today is literally something that is factual, something that is legit, and something that you need to get dialed in right now. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce today my colleague, my friend, Vice President of Consulting here at PredictiveHR, Adrienne Okino.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm so excited to be here and talk about something I'm so passionate about, which is data and data quality and data integrity.
Okay. So with that being said, I know you. I work with you every single day here. Let's let LinkedIn understand who you are, and let's give a background of kind of your story, where you've been, and then also what you and Charlie have created here at PredictiveHR.
Absolutely. So prior to joining PredictiveHR back in 2017, 2018, I spent over 20 years as a human resources or people and culture professional, leader and executive within the hospitality space. So my last position in hospitality was with Kimpton Hotels and Restaurants, another disruptor in the space related to the employee value proposition and really driving customer experience through employee experience.
Yeah.
I joined Predictive specifically because as the company was founded with a focus on really providing quality analytics for the HR space, it was evident that you needed somebody who really could understand how to help organizations reach their business outcomes, how to take the analytics and the data and translate them into actionable insights. So as we continued to evolve the analytics, it became more and more important to look at the quality of data that was being presented. And it is something very simply put, you can't trust your reporting and analytics if you can't trust the accuracy, completeness, and consistency of your data. So our data integrity engine began to be developed very, very quickly after the organization was founded in 2016, and we have continued to evolve that to meet the ever-changing needs of big data and the requirements that organizations have around data quality.
Yeah, I love that. So I want to unpack a couple things there. So you just said a whole bunch of different stuff that I think is really important for people to understand. Number one, you've been in this space for a very long period of time. Number two, the level of organizations that you were involved with, you firsthand witnessed some things that we're going to talk about today. But the question that I've always wanted to ask you is when you and Charlie decided to build this model, how much of that was driven from prior pain that potentially you experienced in your career, things that you've seen, that you saw, I guess I should say, and then you were like, we need to develop this out in the market. This is needed, and I don't want to continue to go through maybe some of the same things that you've experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the quick answer is a vast majority of this was based on the experiences that I had, that our founder, Jamie, had within the talent acquisition and HR operations space, and then leveraging Charlie, who really had started to look at cloud data and multiple cloud software systems, and seeing that data integrity was going to continue to be an issue if we didn't address it. So I would say 80 to 90% of what has been built were based on specific experiences and pain points that all of us had across our different approaches to talent analytics.
Yeah, I love that. And it's one of those things that, and that's what I want to talk about as we get started here. It's not a like if, or it's not a like, or if it's something that you think you want, it's a necessity, especially in 2024. So let's talk about, to set the ground floor here on this. Maybe a lot of people don't like to talk about this stuff. That's why we call HR disruptors. So we're going to get right into it. What is the cost of not having this, and people that do glaze over this, and for all the people out there that have gone from one software suite to another without doing it, let's talk about the impact of not having this dialed in.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. In 2021, Gartner published a survey saying that bad data quality costs organizations roughly $12.9 million a year. And it's specifically because the quality is important for decision making and organizational effectiveness. And if you do not have a level of confidence in your data quality, you are going to make operational, financial, and customer related decisions poorly. So the impact of not looking at this is far reaching, both from a productivity, efficiency, as well as a financial standpoint. There was, I think, a situation in 2019 with Hawaiian Airlines where they had a software that people were booking miles, award flights, and it was translating in their software because of poor data quality into dollars. So I think even one customer was charged $674,000 for an award flight, and that it could have been avoided if the data quality was in the forefront of the organization's mind. So
there you go, 12 million, super big claim. Mm-hmm. But not only that, and we'll get into this today as well, but even from a compliance perspective, I mean, yeah, like that top of mind right there. I mean, and for those of you that are watching this, and I guarantee you, everybody that's in this space in HR, you probably have heard the horror stories. Hopefully you haven't gone through it yourself, but from compliance alone, the data quality is essential. So I always, and what we try to do here at Best of Class is when we're talking to individuals that either come through our ecosystem, whether it's consulting, whether it's analytics, whatever, one of the first questions we always ask them is like, if we had to ask you today, what is your confidence level in your data quality from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest? We don't hear a lot of confidence in that. Yeah. So I think a lot of it too is because they don't understand it. So we're going to get started today with one thing that I think that we should set a foundation on, and it's, what is data quality? What is that? What does this even mean?
Very simply, it's accurate, complete, timely, and consistent data across any of the tools that you may use for decision making. So if you're Excel jockeying spreadsheets from an organizational intelligence standpoint, but you're pulling that information from multiple disparate systems or across the organization, whether that's talent data, operational data, financial data, to merge that together for the purpose of business outcomes, it's the level of accuracy that that data has. And data is generated by humans. So the entirety of data quality rests within the bounds of human error. So if you're not looking at this from a consistency, timeliness, and complete and accurate standpoint, there are going to be mistakes.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Always try to break it down in the most finite. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. Like for me, I've been obsessed with data, however you want to phrase it, for years, because that's how you grow.
Right.
If you can't see it, you can't grow it. And I think it started, and you had alluded to this at the beginning, we were talking about big data. I mean, that came out, 2016, 2000, I think in that realm, 2015, 2017, something that was the big buzzword. And that's the problem, is that there are a lot of buzzwords. If we were going to ask people today, data integrity, people analytics, big data, what does that mean? So if you don't define it, it doesn't matter. What really matters is how it matters to your organization. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Going into the next, I guess, go ahead.
Yeah, and I would say you mentioned from a compliance standpoint, with the passing of GDPR and other data metrics, access to data, specifically from a talent standpoint, is on the forefront and every employee at every organization that is under the umbrella of those specific pieces of legislation have access to data. So the accuracy of that is paramount to avoiding fines and being able to properly present data under those regulations. So that's from a compliance standpoint, but also I think about the fact that now with machine learning being embedded into so many different software systems, do you really want your AI to continue to learn and evolve based on data that is inaccurate, incomplete, not timely, because then your software applications are going to begin to fail you.
Yeah, and I love you brought that up. I mean, we can go off on a radical, wild tangent on this, but coming into AI, right? People think AI is a do-all, be-all, like, hey, we can just hang out and have a cocktail and let AI do its thing, and it's so far from the truth, right?
Agreed.
There's an article that came out yesterday. I think Elon Musk put it out talking about, I believe he said the next year AI will be smarter than any human. And in the next 5 years, it's going to take over a lot of things that many people would do. And there's a lot of debate around that. But here's what I would say. And in my journey, I did a lot on machine learning through voice. When voice first came out and people were trying to really dial that in, it was IBM, Watson, Google, and everything else. It's like, data in. You got to get the data in. You got to get the good stuff in to really quantify out what it's going to be, right? But at the end of the day, if you have crappy data, it doesn't matter. And the reporting's not going to matter. And that's why, going back again, if you're doing your people analytics, no different than what you're doing with your software. You're thinking like it's going to be magic. Let me share with you, nothing is magic. Yes, sometimes people think an AI is magic to a certain extent. It's only as good as what you're putting in there. So those are some really great topics. So we talked about a few. Is there anything else other than what we just discussed on, which I think is the crux of it, why this is a crucial and important organization?
I would say a couple other reasons that it is important. When you think about cloud software and integrations, if the data is crossing systems and it is not of a high quality, you are passing bad information
across the whole ecosystem.
across your organizational ecosystem, which
so I
then
think we could just stop it right now and sign off. Like if you hadn't heard enough yet to realize you better like wake up and figure out that you got to really look into this. I don't know what else to tell you because it becomes viral.
Absolutely.
So it's not just one thing. It's a whole bunch of different things. But anyway, we're not here to lecture you. We're just here to give you. And we don't want to scare you either, but you should pay attention. Let's talk about challenges. So what are the current challenges? We just alluded to a huge one there, but what are the challenges that organizations are going to face because they have the dirty data, they don't know it, or maybe they think they have it figured out, or maybe somebody else told them, hey, it is cleansed. What are the massive challenges they're going to face?
I think we have spoken about some of them. So compliance and fines, the viral effect of that data, AI and machine learning. But I think that in addition to that, really from the perspective of my background and experience as a HR exec, when you have an organization that has, let's say, multiple locations and different levels of executive all the way down to frontline workers, you would have to make decisions quickly and be able to pivot quickly. And if I were to walk into the office of a general manager or a COO or a CEO and say, well, my instinct is that the data is correct, that's not the language of the business. So I think that from the standpoint of challenges, the credibility of the data directly leads to personal and reputation credibility as well, from the standpoint of the decisions that you make to move the business forward.
And it's kind of unfortunate because, I think as HR leaders, you've been a leader in the space for many years. Mm-hmm. It's the whole thing of like, not having a seat at the table.
Absolutely.
Might not really be the fault of the folks in HR. It's the fault of the data. I mean, how can you have meaningful conversations, to your point, if you can't have factual data? And then at the end of the day, you have the ask from the C-suite, I need this, and I need to be reported on this and that. And then at the end of the day, you're doing the best you can based on what you have. But if it's not valid, huge problem. So it's more of a viral effect than just HR. It's the entire organization, the impact of it.
Absolutely. And think utopian, if you have a level of confidence, to your point of a 1 through 10, if you are at a level 10, because the work has been done to make sure that the data is cleansed, normalized, complete, accurate, deduplicated, then imagine those same questions from an executive being able to be at the touch of your fingertips through talent analytics, combining data sets and data lakes in a way that is meaningful and impactful. That's really ultimately what drives me is helping organizations try and find that utopian state where at the touch of a button, you are able to provide true business value as an HR leader or a finance leader or an operations leader because of that level of competence in data and having the right information from an analysis perspective.
Yeah, so true. Okay. How's it affect software performance?
Oh gosh, well, to the point of the integrations of software, multi-cloud environments, it can slow your entire software stack down if you are passing that data. So going kind of amongst the various systems, I think about it from my perspective. If you have inaccurate or inconsistent data in an organization and you're processing payroll, one data point could cost you not only the issue directly with an employee that may be not paid properly, but also with regulatory and compliance issues with wage and hour laws, and then financial decisions. So if you can't, if the information being passed from one system to another is inaccurate, it causes so many downstream effects. And then that causes manual effort and work unless you really are working with your data on a regular basis, and you understand where those issues lie. So it can cause huge performance issues and as well as that operational and financial issues if amongst your software stack.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about, I think, this industry that's always fascinated me when I first got involved in it, and I was at a conference and I kept hearing this viral thing of, we didn't know, we didn't know, we didn't know, we didn't know. I mean, it's like, I didn't even know if I thought maybe, I'd had too many like drinks the night before and I was like hallucinating because every single person kept telling me the same thing. I was like, is this really has like the zombie apocalypse, right? And it's like, I think it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you don't know. The key is to make sure you only don't know one time. But I think if you're watching this today, and some people can think this is really dry. Some people think, man, this is way over the skis for me. It's like when it comes to tech, we're going to make it really simple here. First level of understanding how to solve a problem is to know you have a problem, have a level of awareness. So for those of the audience that's watching this right now, what are like 3 triggers to know, hey, I have a problem, and then you might want to reach out to someone like PredictiveHR to figure out how we can help you with it? What are those triggers?
I would say your business intelligence systems, regardless of what they are, if you find that you're having to invest, whether it's you personally or a data team that you have within the organization, in reviewing consistently, updating, and then making adjustments to those reports across systems, or even just within one report out of one system, that probably indicates that you have a problem. I would say a large amount of manual effort is put into reviewing for duplicity and timeliness. If you know that from a business process standpoint, a perfect example is we have a new hire that started in the organization, but they're not input until 3 days later. Your business intelligence is not accurate, especially through peak hiring periods that your company may have. So a couple ways to tell that you might have a problem is the amount of that manual effort to cobble together different reports, different business intelligence data points that may be disparate. Duplication in your data at all indicates a data quality issue. And then I would say also the speed of the ability to get to insight related to your data is key. If it takes you longer than a small amount of time to get to the insight, then you probably have a data quality issue.
Yeah, I love that. And I guess what I would sprinkle in here from my perspective, I always look at things from a business proposition perspective or whatever. But and you're awesome this, because you and I always riff about this all the time. But if I'm watching this, I'm an HR leader. If I'm watching this, I'm business owner or whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm spending money on HR software. How much, just on average, is that going to cost an organization?
Most HR softwares are per employee per month. They range based on the level of functionality, but it is 6 figures for most organizations per year.
Okay, so let's just throw it out there. 6 figures. Okay. Then if you have investment in people analytics, you're investing money there, right?
Yep.
And you're investing money in the myriad of other things that you're doing inside of your organization.
Right. Benefits, employee engagement, all of that.
Yeah. Why in the world? I always use the analogy of like, you have a stack of money here, and you have a stack of money here. You're making a small investment to purify, because if you don't do it, you're kidding yourself, because you're trying to chase an outcome that you're going to realize that you're chasing a false target. So before you're doing anything, whether it's a software launch, whether it's a migration, whether you're implementing analytics, you need to clean your data. right? You
Absolutely.
need to do it. And again, we do this as low as, $1.50 per employee. So we're not talking huge expenses here, but the cost of doing nothing is massive. So with us, finishing this out here for people that are watching, this is educational. We do this, however. So if you're watching this today and you're like, hey, why should I listen to Adrian and Jeff? Why would I want to partner with PredictiveHR and leverage their data integrity service? This is the hard question. Why PHR? Why PredictiveHR? Why would somebody want us to do the data integrity cleansing here? What makes us different than anybody else that says that they do this?
What I will say is, first and foremost, the cost and level of effort to engage with PredictiveHR is much more palatable to organizations that want to move quickly. In addition to that, I know that in some recent examples, an average of 2 weeks can be spent on just getting ready to load data, if you're doing a software implementation, that we can do in minutes. So that efficiency of operation, and also from the standpoint of long-term effect for the organization related to data governance, by engaging with PredictiveHR, you can have a level of confidence and comfort from the standpoint of your internal data governance policies that you are going to be able to identify errors quickly and therefore reduce impact to the organization.
Yep, love that. Also, one last thing I would throw in there, shameless plug. If you're doing the data integrity, might also be a great time to do a system review.
Absolutely.
We work with UKG, we work with Paylocity. Obviously it doesn't matter who you're with or who you're on or whatever from the data integrity, and then our analytics platform, which, by the way, just to let you know, our people analytics platform. If you're watching this today and you've thought about doing people analytics, and typically this is what I've witnessed and seen. You're still trying to make it happen on Excel. Maybe you try Power BI. Maybe you're currently with a platform right now that you literally don't know which way to go, and you turn it on, it freaks you out because you got all this stuff popping up. We're rolling out, and our message to the marketplace is analytics, people analytics for everyone.
Absolutely.
We will grow with you as you grow. We believe in crawl, walk, run. And guess what? You can start with analytics for as low as $495 a month in your organization and actually have something that's going to give you information today.
And I'll also just jump in that another differentiator for PredictiveHR is that we then couple that with the strategic consulting. So to your point of, I think talent analytics can be scary, but in the same respect, by coupling that with our strategic consulting and advisory services, we're actually able to help you make sense of what it is that you're seeing, and then help to support the business strategies that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, so we're excited. We love what we do, and we're really disrupting the marketplace. We're calling it, HR 2.0. To Adrian's point there, it's like it's only as good as what you're going to be able to do with it, and we can help you from any point through the process and being able to help you get to your outcome. So this was fantastic. We love doing this every single week. We'll definitely have Adrian on again because, man, she's a wealth of knowledge for so many different things. And again, this is for you guys. Hopefully you found this beneficial. So if this is something that it resonated with you, look, there's no obligation. Reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you. We'll explain to you how the process works, but we'd love to at least start that conversation to be able to help you, and then think and look back in the future and say, hey, doing that data integrity cleanse was the best thing we've ever done, because gosh, what all these problems we would have had if we hadn't done it. So anyway, Adrian, I'm going to have you send everybody out here today. So what is your departing message today on HR disruptors?
I just think that if you are not thinking about the quality of your data now, you are going to be left behind from a strategic advantage standpoint.
So there you have it. Don't be left behind. Thank you so much for watching another episode of HR Disruptors. My name is Jeff Bounds.
And I'm Adrian. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.